So thank you very much. Today we are having Venerable Hui Yue to talk about the Buddhist education in Cambodia. This is a very important. Actually, Cambodia is a country which coming back to life actually after facing enormous difficulties in their countries due to civil war and a lot of threat that they had. So we are very fortunate to have Venerable Hui Yue today. So Venerable Hui Yue, this is your time, so you can start your talk. Thank you.
So I would like to pay my homage to the three Four James, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And I would like to pay my highly respect to our most vulnerable, Dr. Chandawimala, the professor and associate professor of Buddhist College of Singapore. And I would like to pay my highly respect to all those vulnerable lecturers, Buddhist lecturers from around the world, such as from Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Cambodia, and the other country. My name is Hui Yue. I'm from Cambodia, and it is my great honor to be here in this such a great program, the Buddhist Education Exchange Program. And I would like to express my profound thanks to most vulnerable Dr. Chandawimala that you organize such a great event for us to share our experience and as well as the education from different countries. So to me, I am here to be a representative from Cambodia to share you the Buddhist education in Cambodia. Hopefully, after my speech, all the lecturers and those vulnerable who come from all around the world can get the idea how Buddhist education in Cambodia look like and how it has been done so far. And after my presentation, we will have Q&A session. You can ask and we can ask and answer, and we also have some discussion if we can. Okay, so in order to help you some idea what I am going to talk for today, I am going to tell you the outline of my presentation. So in my speech, I divided into 5 main points. So the first one, I am going to give you the definition of some keywords, Buddhist education and Cambodia. And the second one, I am going to talk about the brief history of Buddhism and the spread of Buddhism into Cambodia. The third one, I am going to talk about the Buddhist school or the Buddhist Pali school in Cambodia. The fourth one, I am going to talk about the advantages of Buddhist school in Cambodia. And last, it is about conclusion. Okay, so let me begin to share with you the 3 key terms of my presentation today. The first one is Buddhist. So all of you may know that the term Buddhist here refer to something in the Buddhist way or the way in Buddhism. And education, there are many definitions of education, but here, according to the Oxford Dictionary, I would like to say that education is the process of teaching, training, and learning, especially in school, college, and university to improve knowledge and develop skill. So here, the other term is Cambodia. All of you may know that Cambodia is one of the Southeast Asian countries. It is bordering with Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. And this day, Cambodia has more than 16 million people, and according to the data in 2018, there are about 97% of its population are Buddhist. Okay, so in Cambodia, there are more than 4,000 monasteries around or throughout the country. Maybe nearly 5,000 monasteries around the country, and there are more than 70 million monks. Okay, so how Buddhism or how the monks in Cambodia are educated. So to the full definition of the Buddhist education in Cambodia means the process of teaching, learning, and training in the way of Buddhism in Cambodia. So now let's move to the second part of my speech, which is about the brief history of Buddhism and the spread of Buddhism into Cambodia. As all of us know that Buddhism is one of the the oldest religions in the world. It originated in India around 6th to 5th century BC. And the founders of Buddhism is known as the Buddha, the enlightened one or the awakened one. The Buddha got enlightenment and then he spent 45 years teaching and spreading Buddhism around the country of India. And later, Buddhism has known as spread to some other parts of the world. And Cambodia is one of the other countries that get or receive Buddhism. According to the Buddhist history, Cambodia got the Buddhism during the reign of Asoka time, which is at that time Cambodia is one of the country in Southeast Asian country. And there were two Thera, Mahathera, Sonathera, and Uttarathera who brought Buddhism to Suvarnabhumi. But we cannot sure that which exact country are the Suvarnabhumi, but we can say that the countries within the Southeast Asian country like maybe Cambodia, Thai and Burma and some other country around here. Okay, so these are the brief history of Buddhism and brought to Cambodia, and later on the clear history of Buddhism that has been practiced in Cambodia is during the, we can say, the Angkor empires during the King Jevaraman VII, the empire, the great king of Cambodia. He is known as the Buddhist king at that time. Yeah. And later on, Buddhism had become the state religions of the country until today. Okay, so these are some history of Buddhism and Cambodia. To continue my speech, I would like to move to the third point, which is about the Buddhist school or Pali school, because what I would like to share with you here, the Buddhist education, I would like to refer to the Buddhist education in the Buddhist academic study. The other word we can say it is a Pali school. Okay, so in the Pali, in Cambodia, as I have mentioned that there are more than 70 million monks in the country. So how the monks are educated in the country? So in Cambodia, the schools are divided into 4 different levels, from the lower to the higher level. So the first one, we can say that the Buddhist primary school. In Khmer, we say that Putika Bathama Saksa. I mean, Bathama, Batham in Cambodia, we use this word, we refer to the first class of the monk. And in this level of education, the monks are provided 8 different subjects to study. The first one is Pali, the second one is Vinaya, the third one is Buddha Bhavati, it means the story of the Buddha. The first one, Khmer language. The fifth one, mathematics. The seventh one, science. And last one is social study. So these are the 8 subjects that we study in the Buddhist primary school. And here, when we refer to Pali, so some of you come from the different country may wonder that how the monks in Cambodia study Pali. In Cambodia, when we start to study Pali, as I have mentioned in the primary school, there are 3 classes. Yeah. So in the primary school, we divide it into 3 classes, or we need 3 years to study. And the first year, according to our curriculum, Pali, we refer to the Pali grammar. We start to study Pali grammar, and maybe at the end of the year, we start to translate some Pali text into Khmer. So this is the way that we learn Pali in Cambodian. And the very beginning of the semester, we study Pali grammar, and later on we try to translate some Pali into Khmer language. Yeah, and in the primary school, there are eight books. It is about the Pali. It is from the Dhammapada, the Kutta Nikaya. It category into 8 books, and those students need to study those 8 books in order to finish or complete the primary Buddhist primary school. Okay, so let's move to the secondary school. Secondary school also, like, we need 3 years to complete the secondary school. So in these 3 years, we study, there are 14 subjects for this curriculum. So the 14 subjects, the first one is Pali. We still continue to study Pali. The second one is Sanskrit language. Yeah. So in Cambodia education, we also include Sanskrit language when we come to the secondary school. Yeah, maybe we just study some basic Sanskrit grammars and text translate into Khmer as well. Okay, the third one is Vinaya. Yeah, and the fourth one is about Buddhism. The fifth one about Khmer. So the about subjects are about Buddhism, and the rest are some subjects that are related to the state school, because in Cambodian education system, the 2 levels of education, like Buddhist education and the state education, are equal. So that's why the monk or the Buddhist monk also required to study some other subjects such as Khmer and mathematics, morality, physics, chemistry, biography, yeah, geography, history, geology, and last one is English. So these are the 14 subjects that we study in the secondary school. And when we come to the secondary school, in Pali subject, we translate. In the way that we learn, we still study some higher or deeper Pali grammar, and also we translate the Pali text into Cambodian. This is the way that we study, and the text that we take to study is Mangalati Pani. And this book in Cambodia, it has been divided into 4 books, and this we need to study for 3 years. Okay, and for the other level of education in Cambodia is the high school, Buddhist high school education. Buddhist high school education, we also need 3 years to study, and the subjects that we study in high school are the same as the subject that we study in secondary school, but just upgrade the level of it. And here, I would like to mention only the Pali study to share with all of you to get the idea how the Buddhist monks are educated. So when we come to the high school education, all the monks are required to, the same way that we learn the Pali text, we translate Pali text into Khmer language. It is about the, when we come to the high school, Buddhist high school, what we study is Visuddhimagga. Yeah. So in this Visuddhimagga, it is divided into 3 books in Cambodia. So we need 3 years to complete it. Okay. When we finish high school, all the student has the qualifications that we can further our education in Buddhist study, and as well as we also can study in the other university as well. Okay, so let's move on to talk about how the Buddhist education in a university, that we conduct. So here in Cambodia, when the monks graduate or finish their high school, they can further education in their Buddhist university, or they also can study at the other university as well, like the state university or some other university. But for those monks who continue or further they study in uh, Buddhist university, they can choose any subjects or any majors that they prefer to take for their to consider for their higher education. So in Cambodia, in around the country or throughout the country, there are 4 Buddhist universities. There are 2 main Buddhist universities in Phnom Penh, which is the capital city of Cambodia, and there are 2 Buddhist universities at the province. So those who take their study or further education in Buddhist university, there are 4 faculties in the Buddhist university that they can consider or they can take. So the first one is the Faculty of Education and Religion. In this faculty, students can study the first one is sociology, and the second one is the law. This is the 2 majors in this faculty. And the second faculty is the Faculty of Educational Administration and Technology. In this faculty, students can choose either educational administration major or either in general management. Okay, and the other faculty is the Faculty of Literature. In this faculty, there are 2 majors that students can take. The first one is Khmer literature. So events in the Buddhist education or Buddhist university, we also provide the Khmer literature to those who are interested in this subject. They can take for their study. And the second one is about the environment. So these are the 2 subjects in the Faculty of Literature. And the last faculty is the faculties of Pali, Sanskrit, and foreign language. So in this faculty, there are 2 main major for those who want to study, which are Pali majors and English. So these are the 4 faculties of the Buddhist education in Cambodia. So those monks, and I would like to mention that in Buddhist education in Cambodia, when we come to the university level, not only the monks that can come to study or that can enroll for the course, but also the lay people. I mean the school boys and girls, when they finish their high school, they also can consider one of the majors in this university, because as I have mentioned that there are not only the Buddhist major that student can study, but some other major they also can study as well. Okay, so these are about the education system, or especially it is about the 4 level of Buddhist studies in Cambodia. So now let's move to the advantages of the Buddhist school or Pali school in Cambodia. According to my study, I would like to come out with the 3 main benefits or advantages of Buddhist education in Cambodia. The first one is to build more Buddhist teachers and scholars in the country. As we know that education is very important for every country. And when we come to Buddhism, it is also the same. When there are more educated monks or people in the country, the first one, we can build more teachers, especially the Buddhist teachers and Buddhist scholars in the country. The second one is to promote Buddhist morality in the society. As I have mentioned, from the very beginning of the level of education until the last level of education, even we have some other subjects or majors, we also include the Buddhist teaching in those class or those courses. So that's why in this Buddhist education can promote more Buddhist morality in the society as the practice of Buddhism. They learn a lot from their course, maybe from the very basic of the Buddhist teaching to some level of Buddhism. So more people that enroll in the course, they also can learn more about Buddhism. Okay, and last but not least, the Buddhist education provides us to preserve the Buddha's teaching. As I have mentioned, in our course, we studied the Pali language and some Buddhist texts we translate to Khmer language, and this is the very basics. Yeah, it is a very basic knowledge, and then we can build up our knowledge to improve our Pali skill, and we also can learn more Buddha's teaching from the Buddhist doctrine, such as Tipitaka. And especially for those in Cambodia that they want to study Buddhism, because the former Buddhist scholar in Cambodian, the previous Buddhist scholar in Cambodian, they have translated all the Tipitaka from Pali into Khmer. So we have two subjects, bilingual language for those who want to study. So it is easy for them. If they cannot understand Pali, they can learn from Khmer language. But if they can learn Pali language, they can understand deeply from the Buddha's teaching themselves. Okay, so these are the three main important main benefit of the Buddhist teaching in Cambodia. So now let me come to my conclusion. In my conclusion, I would like to say that Buddhist education are very important, and it play a very important role in Cambodia society. I would like to sum up with two ideas. The first one, Buddhist education is provide Cambodian people to preserve Buddhist teaching, and the second one is have Cambodian society to live in the peaceful way as the teaching of the Buddha. So now I come to the end of my presentation. I would like to say thank you very much for all of you that you have paid attention to listen my speech. So if you have any question, I will be happy to share with you more, and we also can have some discussion if it is needed. So thank you so much.